Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the GI Joe Classified Tomax and Xamot. Now, I'm going to review these together because essentially they're the same figure, just mirrored, and in all honesty, they should have been put in a 2-pack for about 40 bucks rather than each individually sold for $25. And let me tell you, selling these individually makes no sense because they are a package deal. So, before we get started, let me just say, if you don't mind, take a second, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the bell notification so you're notified, because if you were notified, you would have gotten like 3 notifications about all these GI Joe figures that I've been reviewing. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the figures, open them up, compare them to the O-ring figure, see how their color matches against the Crimson Guard, because they did say the Crimson is going to match. So we're going to go through all that. So quickly, we'll take a look at Xamot. Xamot is the one with the scar. So his artwork is right there. Then if you turn it, see how it looks. He's number 45 in the line. There's a wonderful montage that we're going to be getting rid of. And here are all the weapons. And unfortunately, I think we all know they're pretty sad on weapons. That's a disappointment, and we'll probably address that. So here's Tomax. All right, different artwork. Again, they are mirrors of each other. That's how he looks on the side. And then you have 44. So on all of these, you can push them together and they make a picture that fits. Hence, that's how that looks. But they did make it so if these are sitting this way, they are back to back. I believe someone said you can also make it so they're face to face. That would be stupid. Anyway, enough with that. Let's open these up. Let's compare them to the original figures. Compare the colors, see how they look, and then you guys can decide. I will also drop a link to Amazon so you can order these figures. Again, just click the link, order. They are in stock. They are shipping. They're the only place in the US that I know of that has them right now, and you'll probably get them within a day or two. All right, so here we have the figures out. As you can see, haven't even stood them yet. So quickly, see if they stand. No issues. No. Again, I'm not even trying to bend them. So, there they are. They stand. Let's see how the articulation looks. So, actually really nice and smooth. No problem there. They do have the boot cut, which is pretty high. Ankle rocker and thigh swivel. These ones are very, not soft. They actually feel really nice, to be honest. Better than some of the other figures that I've just reviewed, like the Snake Eyes. There's the Ab Crunch. Kind of stiff, moving back and forth. I didn't realize they really rock like that. There's the arm. Now this feels a little stiff now. Even though they are pinless and double jointed. Ooh, look at that. You're not going to get more than just over 90 degrees due to how they are articulated from what I can see. So, am I missing something here? Yeah, no matter what you do, that's definitely going to be in the way they built it and how they cut it. So, that's a little disappointing. Well, wait a minute. So, wait, this one gets over. Why am I having an issue with that arm? Huh. It'd be interesting. Let's see how this one is, because they should be the exact opposite. I have an issue there. Huh. So, the right arm has more of a bend to it because of the same arm. But the left, the way that it's cut, really only goes a little over 90 degrees. That's kind of interesting. So T-pose, Goes out that far. Ooh. So weird popping noise. So they do have the butterfly joints, which these ones really need because they're acrobats. Then you have your neck, moves up and down. Doesn't look up too far. Doesn't look down that far. The neck is on a ball joint along with the head. And I do not... Oh, you know what it is? Looks like there's a little piece right up there. That's... Well, maybe not. Let's check out this guy. I need to really go over what he does, but... Yeah, so he doesn't have it. So there's something in that plastic that probably didn't get cut properly. But same with him. Nice and smooth joints. No issues at all there. Ab crunch. They definitely click there. They rock back and forth. Thigh swivels. Boot cut. No issues at all. Alright, so. Oh yeah, and I forgot the Jean-Claude Van Damme. These guys get some wonderful Jean-Claude Van Damme. And this is how you want to get the hips to drop down. I try not to pull them down. If I need to drop it down, I move it like that. And I will push it right back up. So, looks like they're going to stand fairly easy once you kind of mess around with them. So, no issues there whatsoever. So, first thing you're going to look at is this piece is separate. So, you can take it off and swap them if you wanted to, but then you would cover the Cobra logo. Here they have the belt. Now, this is all infused on, it looks like. So, somehow they infuse that on there. So, the waist, even though they're the same, they put these pieces on different sides. Again, exact same figure. They should have come in a 2-pack. It's gonna have space for the knife here, and then they have their gun. So, quickly, let me just say, you know, right off the bat, the figures look really nice, but they should have been a 2-pack in that little mirrored package. And for what they are, and the fact they're using the same mold, and what they gave you was, I believe, the Baroness's submachine gun with magazine, all right, and suppressor. Now this is all reuse from the Snake Eyes movie. And then they give you 2 knives each, but they're the exact same knife. So 1 mold, they give you 4. 1 mold for the figure, other than swapping this and putting the Cobra symbol on the other side. And they pretty much double charged you for it, rather than give you a 2-pack worth about $40, which I think would have been a nice gesture. But unfortunately, I think we're starting to see just how greedy Hasbro is right now. So, let's just put this on him. All right, so let's get down to it. Let's match them to the original O-ring. And I think we're only going to have to look at one. I don't think we need to look at both of them since they are the same. So, here's my Xamot O-ring and my Xamot here. Let's get this better in frame. All right, so clearly the hair is parted over, but this one looks way better sculpt than just a smooth hair. Perfectly fine with that. There you can see how the scar is. Mine is obviously faded after 30 years. And there's the scar on Xamot. Here you have your shoulder, a little shoulder guard or whatever you want to call it. And it does have the rivets going down here, just like this one. And then this one has the rivets up top, along with the rivets there. Then you have a little sash that comes down around here. And then you can see where it's held on Now they did a more of a gray than a silver. I'm okay with that. Cobra symbol is in the same spot. Hangs down. They have a nice little V-neck so they can show off their wife beaters. Black gloves. Now he has a gauntlet on one hand. They didn't have gauntlets here. And then here, I tell you what, man, like these guys and Dr. Mindbender, they are committed to their craft with their chastity belts. So clearly it is a snake. Honestly, I've never looked to see that this was a snake, but I was never looking at the crotches of my GI Joe figures other than when they snapped. But here, they did black here, but for the most part, it looks the same. They didn't do any paint apps across there. It kind of goes around. They got a pouch there. They obviously put the gray or silver on the ends to accent the red. And rather than give him a sidearm, they gave them a knife. So it would have been nice to have a pistol at least to go with it. I needed two of the exact same knives. And as we follow down, he's got the snakes on his thighs. They look really nice. And then you have the knee guards that always kind of popped out. I always thought that was super cool, the ones that popped out. And he actually has it too. So as you follow down, you got the knife on the leg or on the foot, whatever, just same as here. And then the boots are obviously painted to look the same, and I like it. I mean, these are almost identical recreations. I wish this would have had a sidearm rather than another knife. That's just Hasbro being cheap. Once again, the back of the boots have straps, so that gives it a little bit more detail. Again, I don't need the exact same, but it is nice to see the recreation. Now, let's see here. Now, he does have a peg in his back that's high enough that if you do want to plug a backpack into it, it's high enough that you can move this around and not cause any problems. Again, I think this would come off easy enough. And then you have a somewhat different looking figure. You can definitely change the face and use him as a completely different figure. And how do we get this thing back on? All right. So, again, I'm not going to go over it with Tomax because they're the exact same figure. Other than scars. So, for the faces, they just swap them back and forth. No big deal. So, looking at the gun here, I really wish they would have thrown in this classic gun rather than just giving us a remake. Now, for what they're doing, even though they made one sculpt, they knew they were going to, no matter what, no one's going to buy one. You're going to buy two. They could have given us a little more. Again, you also own the property. All right, so that's the original gun. This is what they get. Again, you did all these laser guns. Now you actually have a laser gun and you don't make one. Go figure. All right, so Crimson Guard. Now they said that the Crimson Guard, the Crimson colors are going to match. Now that will be completely different when you get the retro Crimson Guard because he's a lighter red. But looking at it here, I would say, yep, they pretty much match pretty well. This one seems to be a little bit brighter, but maybe it's just the gloss. I mean, the knees, it's a little bit darker. There's no doubt about that, but I think it's close enough. I'm not really going to complain. If I grab a Crimson Guard, if I grab this Crimson Guard, and this one, I would say it's very similar, where this is a little bit darker than the uniform. So the Crimson Twins, I would say you're going to match these ones together, and it is extremely nice to have these guys together. So not too much not too much more to go over with this. Again, I do like them, but I think they could have given us a little more. Alright, so there you have it. Tomax and Xamot. I will say this, they have weird fingers. Like, they don't really have, like, you can use them as trigger fingers, but they have two open fingers. Like, they're supposed to have a bow and arrow, which makes you wonder, maybe is there a repaint coming down the line? I'm not gonna lie, these figures look absolutely amazing. All right, they are essential characters. I mean, you look at that face sculpt, and it's wonderful. No issues with the paint apps. I mean, everything looks really good. The QC on this looks really good. My gripe is that no way in hell should these have been sold separately. They should have been in a 2-pack for, I would say, $40. But you know what, Hasbro? You're greedy bastards. $45. You should have given us this gun, all right, and given us their classic gun, along with a sidearm for right here, rather than two of the exact same knives. So you got away with giving us 4 knives using one mold. You've already done it with the figure, so you're doubling up on the figure. You're just swapping the mold on this and the head. It's just, that's what's disappointing. Now, I can only imagine the horror stories that we're probably going to start getting where someone gets 2 Xamots or 2 Tomaxes because people aren't paying attention when they ship them. Or, for some odd reason, Grandma buys Xamot and Tomax is there, so Tomax is going to sit there forever. So, again, wonderful looking figures. No complaint on the figure. Complaint on the packaging. Oh, and also, I should have had their little, what is it? I'm literally doing this right now. I have issues. Their little rope and pulley rope, whatever it is. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyone that had the original twins knows. But it would have been cool with a mirror package the same way. I don't know. They probably saved, the Earth by 0.3 seconds by not doing that for us. It's hard to say. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Again, these are essential figures. I'm going to post a link to Amazon. Click that link. Order these. You'll have them, in a day or two. They do have them in stock. No one else in the U.S. that I know of has them in stock. They are wonderful figures. They are worth the money, but let's be honest, you could give me a little more. You own the property. This is the cash grab, and we all know it. And we've just seen what Hasbro did, lopping off, laying off all those people by getting record profits and saying they're going to triple their profit. I mean, it's crazy. It's this whole toy world is crazy. So I'm going to get out of here. You know the socials. A Punk with Toys on Instagram and Twitter. The Facebook page, Punks with Toys. I will post a link to that in here. And once again, before we sign off here, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit that bell notification, because who knows when we get waves of GI Joe. And when we do, we're going to get waves of reviews. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Have a wonderful day and happy toy hunting.